Alright, folks, so today we're going to find out the true origins of the political compass. So let's start off by looking at the history of the political compass. So, in 2001, the Political Compass website was established. This can largely be considered the birthday of the political compass, when the first iterations of the political compass occurred. However, from 2001 to 2019, which is around almost 20 years, the political compass wasn't really that big of a deal. I mean, there were, of course, some governments that considered using it for their political spectrums, but it wasn't even seriously considered by them. However, in 2019 was the beginning of the Centricide ARG, which gained immense popularity. In 2020, Ben Shapiro decided to ride the Centricide ARG's success and actually commentated on it, bringing in a new crowd to the Centricide ARG. The Centricide ARG ended in 2021, which is also right around the same time where Drew Durnell, another influencer, decided to take and make a video on the political compass himself. Which, by the way, took it out of the largely political sphere. So now it's no longer just people in the political sphere that are interested in the political compass. Ben Shapiro and Dreg made it very popular within people in politics. But now Drew Durnell is bringing it into audiences that are not into politics at all. And finally, in 2022, Wendigoon revitalizes the community by basically taking the political compass, a very specific model of the political compass, and attempting to identify every ideology on that particular model of the political compass. As of the making of this video, which is going on in 2023, this is the latest major event in the political compass history. So, all this to say, why should we care? Why is it important? Well, let's take a look at the actual numbers of how much exposure each one of these things have resulted. Drake's Centricide came up with 6,942,000 views on YouTube. The Ben Shapiro test video came up with 3,900,000 views. The Drew Durnell test video came up with 378,000 views. And the Wendigoon Every Ideology Explained video came up with 4,400,000 views. Now, this basically puts a number to how many people have been influenced by the political compass. There is very likely more, as there are lots of other content creators that have also done this, but these are the four main ones. These are the four main content creators that have made content on the political compass. So the political compass, even if it is not the most nuanced of systems, it is very critically important due to the fact that it has so much critical influence on our modern generation. So let's see if there is actual political nuance and actual rapport with the political compass. So let's take two of some of the most well-renowned philosophers in economic politics, Karl Marx and Friedrich Hayek. All right. So what are the arguments that these two people have against the political compass first and foremost? Well, Marx has two. Under Marxism, Marxists say that the political compass ignores the political systems that existed in the pre-modern period, and it creates a seemingly unnecessary division among the people of same divisions. And Friedrich Hayek, people who follow his philosophy, argue that it allows for seemingly impossible ideologies. So basically systems that should be impossible. The political compass says it is impossible. Well, let's actually take a political model that both Marx and Hayek would agree with. Let's take the political models of Karl Marx and Friedrich Hayek and intersect them. So, both Karl Marx and Friedrich Hayek argued for a more one-dimensional political spectrum, alright? So, how about we take their one-dimensional political spectrums and basically put them on top of each other, alright? When we do that, we come up with this monstrosity. So, in this example, the x-axis represents the axis of Marx's political spectrum, whereas the y-axis represents Friedrich Hayek's political spectrum. All right, so let's take a look at it. So under Marxism, you have 6 stages. You have primitivism, agrarianism, monarchism, capitalism, socialism, communism. In this model, that is represented by the bottom half of all of the squares. All right, and we're splitting Marx's model into 2 parts. We're splitting it into early versions of each of these stages and late versions of each of these stages. So that basically comes up with 12 different divisions of Marx's political spectrum. Then you have the y-axis. Now, something interesting about the y-axis is that if you actually take Marx's word and Marx's definitions for each of these stages, you suddenly realize that Hayek's spectrum basically makes it to where we don't make a square or even a rectangle. We make it to where it kind of leans. So it turns out that the more right wing you go, the more authoritarian you go inherently. And the less libertarian ideologies are even possible. Alright? So like for primitivism, the majority of people's lives are controlled by culture to an extreme degree that you can't see anywhere else. And so early authoritarian primitivism is going to be more authoritarian than even the most authoritarian form of agrarianism. And the same for monarchism and capitalism and all that stuff. So, what does all this ultimately mean? Well, I've drawn here an orange square, okay? This orange square basically indicates where the modern political compass measures, aka late stage capitalism and early stage socialism. The modern political compass measures the late stage capitalism on the right and early stage socialism on the left, while making a division between Hayek's more state intervention versus less state intervention model. All right. So basically, ultimately, what I've shown is that the political compass does indeed have a certain level of nuance. It's not very good nuance, but it is something that if we expand our political model to recognize the other stages, we can realize that the political compass is useful in certain aspects. And it does remove a lot of the problems that occurred earlier. So I hope you liked this video. If you want to support the channel, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. See y'all.